When you're driving and you've been doing this for a little while, you start realizing certain red flags. You start getting intuition and gut feelings. When you have these gut feelings, chances are they're right, and you should go with that. Now, the story I'm about to share with you is exactly that. Now, it's something that really needs to be highlighted because this could get really bad in the event something like this were to happen. And some drivers need to realize some of the red flags here. Hey everyone, my name is Chris and welcome to Real Rideshare Stories. And today I have a really crazy story for you that you need to know, and you need to understand the red flags, some of the craziness behind when things like this happen. So let's get right into it. So as you see on the screen right now, this is taken from a Facebook group that I belong to. And it goes, here's one for you guys. Last night, I get a request that is followed with a message that says, please knock on the door. Then I get a follow-up message asking me to call the passenger. The phone number was an out-of-area number, but we have a top Division II school here, so I didn't think much about it. I call the number just as I'm pulling up to the house. The person on the other end of the phone tells me I am picking up his kids and everyone is expecting me. I explained to him that I cannot do this because of the unaccompanied minor rules. He then tells me he will tip me $100 to pick up his kids. This is where the red flags started going up. As I knocked on the door of the house to explain to the people there I couldn't take the kids, the guy tells me, the kids are in grave danger. My ex beats them, and if you leave them there, she will hurt them. At this point, the kids start to try to open the front door, and the mother slams the door shut. I call 911 and explain what is going on, and the kids get out of the back of the house. The mother comes around and tells me that she has custody of the kids, and the dad is in California. This guy seriously wanted me to kidnap his kids. All right, so there are a few red flags here, even before this person said that there were some red flags. So I'm going to go over all of them now. So in the event you have some intuition, some gut feeling, go with that. Because like I said, it probably is going to be true. Now, you want to hope that it's not true, but unfortunately, after you've been doing this for a while, it becomes more true than not. All right, let's go over the red flags. And the first red flag that the customer sent was to knock on the door. You shouldn't get out of your car for anything, let alone going to the address to knock on the door. And you should be in your car because you don't know what's going to be on the other side of the door. You don't know if it's going to be somebody that's going to try to attack you or anything like that. You want to make sure you are in your car, because if there's anything that you see that could be a problem, you can get out of there as quick as possible. So first off, don't get out of your car. Now, there are exceptions to that. If you need to open up your trunk, or if you see somebody getting out that may need an extra hand who's elderly or anything like that, and you want to do that, then by all means, that's different. For the most part, again, stay in your car. Most people that are using this are A-okay and can. Now, the next red flag is to call the passenger at a particular number. And it's not because of what happened in this story, but usually these are customer scams that they try to pull. And not only that, then they also have your phone number if you don't call through the app, because the app will disguise your phone number calling the passenger and the passenger disguised calling you. So it's good to call through the app itself, not their personal line, because then again, they have your number. Now, the third red flag is when the person on the phone said to pick up the kids. Unaccompanied minors, that's a no-no in Uber and Lyft. And then when you come to find out, it would have been a real no-no, because that could be an accessory that could come back to you. You might have to talk to the police. There's a lot of things there. But again, when it comes back to unaccompanied minors, do not take them. It's against terms of service. It's a whole can of worms that you just don't want to really get into. Sure, the $8 might sound great. If you have any issues or anything that happens during the ride, it's all going to be on you, and you could get deactivated. So just say no to unaccompanied minors. Then the next red flag is the first red flag that this driver did see, and that is, I'll tip you $100. We've all heard, I'll tip you in the app. I'll give you this. I'll give you that. And, you know, this is no different. Don't trust anyone when they say, oh, I'll tip you, when they are trying to get you to do something that you're not supposed to do. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Then the guy comes up on the phone and says some story where the kids are in grave danger to try to appeal to you. Again, this is not something that you should ever deal with. You don't want to inject yourself in this situation in any way. Let the cops deal with it. Let family court deal with it. Let some protective service deal with it. You should not be injecting yourself into any situation like this. Now, the really smart thing that this driver did was dial 911, because it comes down to a he said, she said thing. And let's face it, you really probably don't know who actually is telling the truth here. And again, the biggest thing is you don't want to inject yourself in this situation. Unfortunately, this driver was injected into this situation, but took the smart route by dialing 911, let them know what was going on, and then the police can deal with it. That's what they're trained for. That's what they're supposed to do. If they have to make calls, they'll make the calls. If they have to get other people involved, they'll get the right people involved, not you as a driver. All right, those are the red flags when it comes down to it. And my thoughts are, again, don't get out of the car. If they're telling you anything like that, say, hey, look, if you got that problem, dial 911. And again, take yourself out of the situation. If you need to dial 911 because you feel that there's some issue, like in this case, absolutely go ahead and do it. Tell them what's going on and let them know exactly. Then at that point, if you have to report it to Uber or Lyft, you probably would want to, just to let them know what's going on, make a report, just so it's there. Again, you want to make sure there's all these redundant things going on. But either way, yeah, never inject yourself into any type of situation like this. This is a problem from the get-go. So if you hear and see things that just don't add up, if there's red flags, again, trust your gut instincts, because they're probably going to be right. All right, and now I want to hear what your thoughts are on this particular one. Or have you had something ever similar like this? Comment below, let us know. And if you think that your intuition and gut feeling ends up usually being right, make sure you smash that like button. Also, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications so you'll be notified every time new videos are uploaded. And as always, never drink and drive. Always tip your drivers, your delivery drivers, and your shoppers. And we'll see you next time.